Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Thank you, Mr. Camel. Alrighty, got to keep him involved. I mean, that's been an ongoing thing for 11 years, 12 years. Gloomy still. I don't think we're supposed to get away from clouds for a while. Thanks to Mr. Baker buying a new telescope. Where are you going, Boo? We're going the wrong way. But we have 66 degrees, 18 degrees Celsius right now. Not too bad out here. For the moment, the rain has stopped. You can tell the sidewalk is wet. We needed it. I mean, it was nothing enough to replenish the waterways, but if nothing else, give the ground a little bit of moisture. I guess he's taking us the opposite way this morning. It's about 8:30 in the morning here. I just got done editing yesterday's video. And we are currently on Pocket 3. But the iPhone and the AirPods are always with me. I think I didn't do it yet, but I think I'm just going to have the AirPod every time we go for a walk or whatnot adventure. I'm just going to have an AirPod in. That way if I need to use the zoom, I can. So there was a few shots yesterday that I was underwhelmed with, and then other ones where I was overly impressed with. The one where I took a video of the cloudy sky, I was seeing either little gnats or birds or something. I don't know exactly what it was getting, but they were in focus. So you kind of have to watch it on a TV to get the screen big enough. If you're watching it on a phone, iPad maybe, but definitely still, I feel like there's definitely some color muting between the lenses, but I don't think it's as drastic. Like I said, we need a sunset and do a zoom test one of these nights if we get one of those. Well, so far so good with the front of having a cold. It was a quick one, which I did try different things, and there is I gotta find his channel. There is a licensed pharmacist. I think he's licensed in 6 states, and he goes over what, the different over-the-counter cold medicines actually don't do, and what they actually contain that you can just basically, Tylenol, ibuprofen, different things. Basically I know I mentioned it before, what the hell is the call? Mucinex. He said that's just a scam. He goes, overseas you can get like a Mucinex that actually has actual drugs in it that help. I felt it broke things loose, but it's mind over matter the way he's talking about. Ooh, I think Roto-Rooter's here unclogging that freaking drain finally. They're only like 3 months late. I only got 2X on this bad boy, but I feel some water droplets falling off it might be misting right now. And honestly, yesterday was not intended to be an iPhone only day, but with the weather, it worked out better. Obviously, the Action 5 is getting neglected big time now. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Oh, and speaking of Action 5, the Nano has been released. As soon as I saw Tamara Gabriel's short yesterday, I got on Amazon and they had them in stock. That lasted, I don't know how many hours, because Tim texted me later on and said, out of stock. And it's like, they did not make it a 1-inch sensor, which I honestly didn't expect they were going to make that a larger sensor than the Action 5. We'll see what they do with the Action 6, but I'm really more interested in a Pocket 4. Improved, and some of the things I've talked about that I'd like to see on there, make the screen a little bit bigger, which, like I said, they do have a border around this thing over to the right side. They've got a significant border, so they can definitely, like they did with between the Action 4 and 5, stretch what the screen is without changing any of the design south of the gimbal. And that almost looks like the renders that I've seen is south of the gimbal, nothing changed. Above the gimbal, potentially a zoom lens that's probably going to be a smaller sensor. So you'll have your 1-inch, and then you'll have whatever zoom they can manage to stick in there on probably a 1.3, kind of like all these other Action cameras are. The way they're going with internal storage, I almost feel like you're going to have internal storage And if they don't give that camera a 40 megapixel photography versus the 9.9 on the Pocket 3, where they're giving all these action cameras 40 megapixels, I definitely think that's going to happen as well. But I think by the body look, all the accessories are going to continue to fit. So if you have battery handles, well, not all the accessories. If you have battery handles and stuff, anything in the southern portion of the handle, you'll be good. Obviously, your CPL filter will no longer fit because of the new lens design, and I'm not seeing how they're going to make anything magnetizable to it. We'll have to wait and see what they do. But I'm guessing middle to end of October, if not sometime in November, the Pocket 4 will be out, because the way they're releasing stuff right now, it seems to be, as soon as a leak hits, it's a month and a half, 2 months, and bam, it's on the market. And honestly, David Manning let out a little secret that the Nano he had it for almost 2 months. They delayed the release twice on the Nano. So I don't know what that was all about, and he says some of the software features are still very unpolished, and he's kind of surprised that they even released it at this point, because it's not fully ready, in his opinion. But, you know, he got to play with it for an extended period of time before the release. Boo-boo, huh? Should we tell DJI send Daddy a Pocket 4 and we can give them our feedback? Come on, let's go. And then some travel money so we can go to Bali and you know, have a beautiful vacation like Mr. Manning. Yeah. I would love to know that. I bet you that's like a $10,000 trip. But that's where him and his wife went to test the Nano. I'm like, must be freaking nice. Yeah, you know, some of these YouTubers, they will definitely make you jealous. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let's see what these pretty flowers look like on this thing. And don't get me wrong, the image quality on this guy is amazing, but where the iPhone, or where the phones come in handy, is the fact that you have such a bigger screen, and there's things you know you're seeing in the lens that you don't always know on this one, especially small objects in the sky. They're there, but the screen's so small you can't tell. Yeah, I think the Pocket 4 is going to be, it's going to be a beast by the look of it. I mean, I think they're going to keep the, you know, the weight and everything. Come on, let's cross. Keep everything, you know, pocketable yet. Just give you a slight, you know, just some much needed upgrades. The onboard storage one, it is just such a faster system. That is one of his complaints with the Nano, though. When you detach the camera from, I forget what he called it, the screen basically, but they have a special, it's something smart dock or something they're calling it. You are in internal memory on the camera itself. When you connect it to the smart dock, then you can transfer over to an SD card, not an SSD, an SD card. So you get either a 64 or a 128 in the camera itself, which he basically said that after system files, you're looking on the 64, you get about 48 gigs, which is pretty much what the Action 5 gives you. And the 128 gives you 108 gigs of internal storage. That's important if you're doing a lot of point of view viewing. And I've kind of gotten myself over the whole concept after doing it on my hat and trying, you know, different things, and trying the glasses. If you have it up here or you have it on your head and you're doing this and looking around, you will make the audience nauseous and the footage will be basically pointless. Pretty tree. Oh, yeah. What do you think, little man? He's like, I don't know, Dad. You're just out on a puppy walk. We don't need a POV, right? Unless something major were to come up, you know. I was on that whole kick during Watkins Glen, and that really quickly fell apart. And they didn't do the 1-inch sensor on it, so yeah, no, they didn't. He's like, that was stupid, Dad. So, we'll see what happens. Let's see if Kurt, that doesn't know anything, can guess that between mid to end of October or sometime in November, we don't see a new generation of Pocket. Because the only other thing, I'd like to see some IP rating on it. I mean, there isn't one on the Pocket 3, but there have been users who have taken it out in absolute torrential downpours that have the money to replace it if it gets broken. So, of course, I would most likely get mine through Amazon and have my Amazon coverage on it. So, yeah, I would keep mine protected with that type of thing. Take a quick gander at our beautiful trees here. Like I said, this one here, because there's no background, it really hurts the colors for camera. That was something I was actually impressed with when I was underneath that one tree yesterday. On the phone screen, it was very dark, but when I played that footage back last night, the colors were popping, even from behind the light. I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, I am fairly impressed with, for the most part, with what the 17 is doing camera-wise with the different zooms, and that was, and I think center stage is probably my favorite new feature, though. The picture-in-picture thing, it's neat. However, something I learned this morning when editing is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can change your zoom, but I don't think it's swapping lenses once you hit record. I think it's all digital zoom. Alright, just to test this bad boy out. So we are on the 1X, 2X, 4X, 8X. And when I did that yesterday, I'm not seeing, I mean, I see the zoom in, but I'm not seeing that god-awful lens transition. I think it's just using a digital zoom because it can't do both. We'll see how that turns out. Be a creeper, but yep, they got asphalt down inside the drain. That's why that one's been backing up for so long. So they got a little mini jackhammer, and the guy's gonna have to get down in the hole with it, and it's really freaking narrow. All right, we got the standing basset. Come on, baby girl, we gotta move. Come on, let's go. She did her boom boom already. Trees are starting to slowly go down here. It's gonna be a fast one. I really feel like if you're not on top of it every day, you're gonna miss this particular autumn leaf change. So, I mentioned yesterday, it sounded like the boys were gonna go to Kanzua, but it will just be Tim. Mike's not able to go, so he wanted to. Unfortunately, Andrea can't make it. So, and it's something major that she'd like to see, but Tim's going to also find the Kanzua Dam. So, this is on Sunday. I'm gonna have to do some mapping out because I might have to make that trip with the dogs on my own. That'll be an absolute trip for me to go on my own. Because after last time when Priya and another dog tried to get into a fight, that was not pleasurable. What are we doing? We gotta keep walking here, Pri. She's being a basset hound back there. She's like, Daddy, you're going for a full walk, Priya. So over the years, that tree right there has been my test subject over the years. That will change color. It hasn't yet. There's 8X. And I did learn a very important lesson yesterday too. Doing screen grabs, they're like really crappy small files, and they're not good. You know, I don't think Princess is feeling too good this morning. She's very lackadaisical and looking for grass to chew on every step of the way. Trying to keep her moving. Oh, sneezing. Sniffing in a water droplet or something there, Princess. Well, I have this thing aimed so far down to get her right now. Oh, yes. Oh, I don't know. These gloomy days. I mean, the colors are popping where there is color. But I need to rid center this thing. There we go. I think it got off center on me. Yeah, we can flashlight track a basset. See, now I don't have the shift cam with me, otherwise I can do this with the iPhone too. But this, I'm looking straight down at the screen. Yeah, playing with some camera angles, why not? It's almost like having a drone footage of her. Gee whiz, there's something I haven't had out in forever. The drone. Man, it's just not, it's sitting there and it's like, I see some night skies, but then I'm usually walking the dogs, and by the time I get done, the color's gone, and so is my brain thinking about doing it. There's a lot going on up here, trust me, between, you know, work and everything, so it's been a rough year so far in work aspect of it. I really feel like I need to find different employment. Completely forgot, so last night I was talking with Mr. Baker, and we got on the subject of he wants to get a star tracker because he got himself a new telescope, and come to find out, I said about, you know, nightcap working best for me and whatnot. I said, have you played around with it at all? He's like, not really. Well, he decided to open it up, and we're both having the same issues. The app has not been updated in 3 generations of iPhone. So it definitely needs an update, because it should be able to shoot 48 megapixels. And I mean, whatever the camera is capable of doing, it's still doing a pretty good job. 17 looked really sharp until the clouds rolled in. But it can actually do the exact same thing as the Loom Lapse, with actually snapping photos every, you know, however many seconds you want it to, and for infinity. So you could actually do a photo version versus doing the time lapse. I prefer the time lapse for myself because it's much simpler for my workflow. It's already done. Maybe do a little color grade, or well, exposure grade for me. I don't really color grade as much. So, but the app definitely needs an update to these newer devices, because both of us were having a hell of a time getting the menu system to work last night. But it does do it. It does a lot more than I thought it did. So yeah, you can take like, then there's actually a spot where you can, I took like a 10-minute photo last night. It just literally keeps the thing open and takes a photo. And now you'd get star trails galore with that. It wouldn't so much be, you know, like the Pixel where it's taking 16-second shots and then lining stuff back up. Yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. But it's a harder system, and I don't think 12 megapixel photos is going to equal 4K video. Well, the city has put a tow sticker on this car now. There's an orange sticker on the window. Alrighty, everybody. Well, that night is over. We got out actually kind of early. We punched in around 9 after, something like that. So, raining. We got rain. We need it. Alrighty, let's get home, have some buttered pasta, see the puppers, set them outside and give them their snack, and call it a night. So, let's get home. Don't think a rainy night's a good one to test. I always do a night driving test with the iPhones, and I think this is the first time I've been out at night with it. But the raindrops are going to be a problem, I'm afraid. Although with it being dark, it might not really see it, so. I mean, the image on the screen looks fine, but we figured what the hell, we'll give it a shot. Just a quick little test. 30 seconds should be good. 28, 29, 30. Shockingly, I'm not seeing a lot of footage come out of the camera too often. I'm not getting notifications like I was before. But you got the fox and the raccoon, the possum, the groundhog, a doe. So we've gotten some. I really don't want the bear to come around. As neat as it is, I really don't want him to come around, because it's just too frightening that they're getting this close to houses. And, you know, with my dumb ass going out doing, you know, night photography and whatnot. Yeah. I know I have a lot of lights on out here, but especially like right in here, my eyes, that is really dark right now, but this thing is really brightening that up. I'm impressed. Damn, even the top of the tree where it looks dark to me, I got detail. That is crazy. Alright, everybody, thank you for watching. Have a good night and stay safe. Priya, you want to say good night to the internet? Nah, she's too busy sniffing. Good night, everybody.